Now, I was a member of staff during Taiwan's 14th presidential inauguration in 2016. Now, according to Natalie and Andrew, that makes me qualified to tell you the differences between the inauguration yesterday and the one before it.
That's right. So you got 60 seconds. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, go.
All right, so both inaugurations were held on May 20th. In 2016, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs held a reception for 700 foreign dignitaries on the night before her inauguration. Tsai and Vice President Chien-jen took their oath of office in the morning at the presidential office. After that, special guests took turn congratulating Tsai, while a crowd of 30,000 enjoyed performances outside. Wow. Tsai then gave a speech in front of the presidential office building. Ooh. That night, there was an official banquet at the Taipei Marriott Hotel. Fast forward to 2020, the inauguration is streamlined due to the pandemic. Foreign ministry reception? Nope. Overseas guests? Not invited. There was a swearing-in ceremony and a smaller meet and greet with representatives to Taiwan, but no one shook hands, they just bowed at a distance. Overseas dignitaries congratulated Tsai via video, and instead of a big stage setup, they moved everything across the street to the Taipei guest house. Tsai gave her speech before a crowd of 200. There were no banquets.
Wow, good job! Nice. You told us all of that in less than a minute.
Ooh, my heart is racing.
You did a great job. Now, Leslie, you actually got an inside look at the inauguration back in 2016. What was your job?
So I was in with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Department of Protocol, and that handles anything and everything to do with foreign dignitaries. And like I said, there were over 700. So I think there were 23 different delegations. Wow. And our department had to oversee buses, transportation, and it was really interesting. But we also were in charge of also setting up the planning for the banquets and a lot of the inauguration. Wow. Everything from the seating to, I remember my boss, he was just like, I'm not going to be here this afternoon. I was like, why? He's like, I'm going tasting for the inauguration banquet. I'm like, oh, enjoy.
That's the best part of the job.
For him, yeah. Our job was more to make sure everything was very smooth. So when you see President Tsai, her motorcade pulls up to the front of the Taipei guest house like it did yesterday, she didn't have to wait for anything, right? Wow. Everybody else waited for her.
Right. Did you get one of those little phone wires behind your ear?
We did.
You did.
And it was there was a whole science to attaching it to your suit, right? So do you make sure the wires don't show up?
Yeah.
And I was the best one at that. So everyone's just all right, Leslie, you have to equip everybody's earphone to their...
All right, from now on, our microphones for Taiwan Insider, you're going to put them
on. These are different. These are different. The over-the-ear ones with the walkie-talkie, there's a way to set it up on the suit to make sure everything doesn't show up and everything's over the ear.
How fun.
But the thing is, it's impossible to hear through those things. Oh. So anytime there's 7 people maybe on the conversation, all you hear is static.
So that's why all those spy guys look so cool. They're yes,
really actually trying to
hear. Got the president,
figure out what's going on.
What did you say? What? Who's coming down?
So I heard you got to look at her new car, the new Audi.
That's right.
What was it like?
So my detail during the presidential banquet, it was at night at the Taipei Marriott. I was on the first floor in the valet area. So when she pulled up, her motorcade was there just waiting for her because she's the president. She can park anywhere she wants. During that time, they had there was big news that Taiwan, for the first time, gave the contract for the presidential vehicle from BMW to Audi. And there was news about the specs of the car and what it can and can't do.
Did you get to see inside of it?
Kind of. The Secret Service let me do it because I was a little too curious. But they're just they knew what was going on because I was standing outside with the Secret Service agent and I was just I was just looking over at him and he knew I was looking over. I was like, is that the new AA? The presidential AA? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's the new AA. I'm like, can it really do everything the media says it can do? And he's like, yeah. And then he kind of showed me around a little bit. He showed I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what he showed me. But the really cool thing was he was just all right, you know what? Try and open the door. And the door is really heavy because those things are bulletproof. They're bulletproof and fireproof and they can keep out certain poisonous gases and things like that.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Good to know she's safe.
Oh my goodness. It was a really heavy door and you have to have so much back strength. So I have nothing but respect for the guys who have to follow her around, open the door constantly because she's constantly on the move.
It's a good workout for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for giving us this insider look at the presidential inauguration.
This is Taiwan Insider.
Yeah. And that's Taiwan Explained for this week.